Okay, so it's 2025, and I mean, intelligent tech, it's everywhere, isn't it? It feels like it's just part of the furniture now.
Absolutely. It's woven into almost everything we do.
And Apple specifically, they've been making some really interesting moves, integrating AI much more deeply across their whole system.
Mm-hmm. They definitely have.
So that's what we're digging into today,
Yeah.
right? How Apple is actually using AI like right now in 2025.
Exactly. We're looking at this great piece from Kenton Patterson on the Future Tech Wise blog. And our aim really is to get past the buzzwords for you.
Yeah, get to the bottom of it.
Right, to really pull out the key ideas in Apple's strategy and, what it might actually mean for you, for how you use your devices, how your data is handled.
And Patterson really flags this term Apple Intelligence. What's that about? It's not like a big flashy assistant.
No, not really. That's the core idea. It's designed more as a suite of features, things happening mostly in the background,
Oh, yeah.
making things smoother, smarter, but maybe in ways you don't always consciously notice.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's unpack that. And maybe the best place to start is privacy, because that's always the big question with AI and data.
Definitely. And what's really interesting here is Apple's approach. They call it human-centric.
Human-centric AI. Okay.
Yeah, and a big part of that is the hardware. The neural engine in their chips, the A-series chips.
Right. They've been talking about that for years.
Exactly. They're really leaning on it for on-device processing. So things like suggesting the next word you type or curating your photos.
Yep.
A lot of that happens right there on your phone or Mac.
Which means it's faster and more private.
That's the combo, yeah.
Yeah.
Speed and privacy. Because the data doesn't have to go off to some server farm for those kinds of tasks. It fundamentally changes things compared to cloud-first AI. Gives you more control.
Right. Keeps your personal stuff more personal.
Precisely. It could sort of set a new bar for user trust.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, but what about the really heavy-duty AI stuff? The things that need, like, massive computing power. Your phone can't do everything, right?
Good point.
Yeah.
And that's where their private cloud compute comes in.
The cloud compute. Okay.
Yeah, so for those more complex AI tasks, they can use the cloud. But, and this is the crucial bit, they've apparently built it so your data is anonymized and secured before it even gets processed.
So they're trying to anonymize it first.
Right. Really doubling down on that privacy promise so you get the power when needed, but with, significant safeguards.
That's quite a balancing act. Using the cloud's muscle, but trying to keep the user's data protected. Okay, let's switch to something we all use or, well, have opinions about. Siri.
Slight pause. Yes. Siri.
Historically, maybe not always the smoothest experience, perhaps.
Slight pause. That's putting it mildly for some people, yeah. But the article talks about a stunning AI makeover.
Stunning. Okay, high praise. What does that actually mean?
Well, it's apparently more than just understanding words better. It's about improved natural language understanding. So Siri's meant to be much better at getting the nuance of how we actually talk.
So less like talking at a robot.
Hopefully, more natural interaction. That's the idea.
And it remembers things now, like if you ask a follow-up question.
Exactly. That's a big one. It can maintain context across a conversation.
Okay, that could make a difference.
Yeah, it shifts Siri from just like a command taker to potentially more of a companion, something that follows along.
Right. But here's the bit that really caught my eye, the ChatGPT integration. That sounds like a game changer.
It certainly could be. By plugging into something like ChatGPT, which is, really good at generating human-like text and understanding complex requests, Apple's basically made Siri a kind of hybrid.
Hybrid assistant.
Yeah, it can still do the quick stuff, timers, weather, whatever. But it can also tap into that more advanced AI for things like, well, drafting an email in a certain tone, or maybe translating a conversation on the fly.
Whoa, okay. Real-time translation.
Or even brainstorming ideas with you if you're stuck. That kind of capability.
Okay, that does sound like a significant leap from just asking for the weather. Imagine, like you said, that translation feature. Talking to someone, and Siri just handles the back and forth. Huge. Okay, let's shift gears again. Creativity. The article mentions something called Image Wand. Sounds interesting.
It does, yeah. Image One, it's part of Apple Intelligence. And the idea is you can do a rough sketch, like a little doodle.
Right, something basic.
And the AI can transform it almost instantly into something that looks much more polished, more professional.
Really? So you don't need to be like a graphic designer?
That's the goal, I think. It's about lowering the barrier to entry for creating visuals, democratizing it a bit.
Interesting.
And it's not just that. They also introduced Genmoji.
Genmoji, like generated emoji.
Exactly. AI-powered emojis that are meant to reflect your personality or, the specific moment or feeling you want to express. More personalized than the standard set.
Huh. That seems kind of fun, actually. A way to make messages more expressive.
Yeah, I think that's the idea.
So it feels like they're trying to make these AI tools not just powerful, but also accessible, maybe even enjoyable for students, business owners, just regular folks sending messages.
That seems to be the angle, yeah. Weaving it into everyday creative tasks or communication.
Okay, what about productivity? Because sometimes more tech, more intelligence can just feel like more noise, more overwhelm. How's Apple handling that?
Well, the article stresses that their approach here is meant to be subtle, supportive, working behind the scenes.
How so? Like, give me an example.
Okay, think about email summarization, getting the gist of a long thread without reading every single reply.
Ah, okay, that could save some time.
Or smart focus modes. The AI is supposed to understand the context of what you're doing better and filter notifications more intelligently, helping you actually focus.
So it's using AI to cut through the clutter, not add to it.
That's the promise. The author actually mentioned an example, taking a 60-minute meeting transcript.
Oh, yeah.
And getting it boiled down to just 3 key bullet points
Yeah.
in seconds.
Wow. Okay, that I can see the value in. Giving back time and mental space.
Exactly. Tangible benefits in terms of clarity and efficiency.
Right. Okay, so Apple's building all this AI capability. How does it fit into the bigger picture? Their platform, the app developers.
Well, connecting the dots, it seems like a pretty major investment in their developer ecosystem.
Right, they need apps to actually use this stuff.
Precisely. They're providing the tools, the frameworks, so developers can build apps that tap into Apple Intelligence, which suggests this isn't just a one-off feature drop.
It's more foundational.
Yeah, it means the capabilities of iPhones, iPads, Macs. They'll likely keep evolving as developers find new ways to use this AI.
And the article mentioned the next iPhone, the 17 series, having even better hardware for AI.
Better processors, maybe different memory architecture, all geared towards running more advanced AI locally.
So what kind of future apps could we see then?
Well, you could imagine maybe really personalized education apps that adapt on the fly, or more sophisticated real-time wellness insights based on your health data, even AI helping you create music in new ways.
So it really is positioned as a platform for the future.
It looks that way, a long-term shift.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. What's the main takeaway here?
Yeah.
The core message from Patterson's piece about Apple's AI in 2025.
I think the key phrase the article uses is hope, not hype.
Hope, not hype. I like that.
Yeah, it's about presenting AI as something intuitive, genuinely useful, maybe even delightful, something that empowers people in practical ways.
And the article gave those examples, didn't it? Like
Yeah.
a teenager writing a novel easier, or maybe an older person connecting with family, a small business running smoother.
Exactly, showing tangible benefits across different kinds of lives, not just tech demos, but real-world help. And the bigger idea, I think, is that this might be the start of a really transformative period, where AI starts to genuinely serve human needs, serve empathy. And Apple, from this perspective, is trying to lead that charge.
Showing how innovation can actually empower individuals, maybe in quieter ways than we expected.
Right. Subtle but significant.
Okay, so just to quickly recap for everyone listening, our deep dive, based on Kenton Patterson's insights, shows Apple's 2025 AI strategy is really focused on privacy first. Right.
Definitely. On device processing, private cloud compute.
Then there's the big Siri overhaul, making it more natural, more contextual, that hybrid approach.
More of a companion.
Plus, tools like Image Wand and Genmoji to boost creativity, and subtle productivity aids like summarization and smart focus.
Yeah, productivity with a soul, almost.
And underpinning it all is this investment in developers,
Yeah.
building a platform for future AI innovation.
Exactly, laying the groundwork.
So as we finish up, maybe a final thought for you to consider. As Apple weaves this AI deeper into our lives,
Yeah, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? What other maybe unexpected ways could this kind of thoughtfully designed AI empower us individually, collectively in the next few years?
and that focus on on-device processing, on privacy,
Yeah.
how might that nudge other tech companies? Could it change our expectations about how our data should be handled across the board?
It's definitely something to keep watching, a fascinating space.